Okay, so our first lesson today is going to be on whole number concepts. And in this particular lesson, I want us to review how to read and how to write numbers. Okay? Now, what's one way to read and write numbers? What do we use when we read and write numbers? What kind of strategies do you guys use when you're reading and writing numbers? So you separate them, and then you're talking about ones and tens, and what are those things called? Place values. So when we read our numbers, we use place values, and there's a standard form with commas. Every 3 to the left, we put a comma, right? Because a period is created, and we're going to talk about these periods in a few minutes. But you guys kind of already know how to do this a little bit, right? What else is very key besides the place value and the format when we're reading numbers? Something very critical. The number itself. What's the number itself called? You guys remember the vocabulary? All right, let me give it to you. You guys forgot already. Okay, remember we're going to talk about the different word forms, how to read and write in standard form and expanded form. One thing I do notice every time that I talk to students about reading and writing numbers, they forget this particular form. But when you see it, it'll come back to you, okay? Here's the vocabulary. Digits. That's what you use to read your numbers. And there's only a few digits. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Every number is created with those digits in different place values. A place value tells you how much a digit stands for. Periods. We were talking about how they're grouped in the format. So, periods is a group of 3 places used for the digits in large numbers. The periods are usually separated by commas. Now, how many of you are from a country where you didn't separate your periods by commas, but you used a decimal? Anybody? Everybody uses commas to separate their numbers? Okay, good. Because usually some people, like from Russia or from the Eastern Bloc of Europe, they use periods. And some South American countries do too. So you have to train yourself to put a comma instead of a period. A period has got to be specific. Standard form is a number written in 1 digit for each place value. So that's what I was trying to say is you got to take that digit, put it in a place value, and that tells you how big that number is. And you have to be able to read it and write it in the correct form. Okay, so I have this number here. And notice that if I start on the far right, I go to the left 3 places, I put a comma. Then I have another 3 places. So if I had more numbers, I would put a comma in front of the 1 and keep with the numbers. Who can read that number for me? Okay, Ashley. Excellent, okay. Word form is written with words, okay? Now look at the word form for the same number that Ashley read out for us. 123. Notice there's a dash. Now, when you have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, you always put a dash if you have a significant digit with it. And what I mean by significant digit, if I have 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, or 29, I'm always going to write with that 10 whatever number goes with it, even if it's in the thousands place. Okay? So from 20 to 90, if there's an extra digit with it, you need to put a dash to show that they go together. That's the correct form. Then I have a comma because that ends the thousands place. 789. 80 and then 9. Have a dash. Okay? So you have to write it in the correct form. Do you think spelling counts? Yes. If you misspell it, it's wrong. Okay? Expanded form. Now, expanded form is a way to write your numbers that shows the place value of each digit. Okay? So here's an example of the same number that we've been working with. The 123,709 in this case. We know that the 1 stands for the 100,000s place. The 2 stands for the 10,000s place. So it's 20,000. That's the value. The 3 stands for thousands, so it's 3,000. The 7 is in the hundreds place, so it's 700. So you're going to add up the values of each digit in its value place. Do I have anything in the 10? No, so I don't even have to write it down. Some people like to put a 0 there just to have the place there. But you don't have to because it's 0. There's no value there. And then 9 is in the ones or the units place. Ones and units are in the same place. Okay? So I just add those all up, and that is called expanded form, where you add up the value of each of the digits in their place value. Now, can somebody read this number to me? Okay, Elizabeth? Excellent. Now, these are broken up into the periods. And periods, where we're putting those commas, helps us read these really large numbers. And as Elizabeth gave us an example, it really helps you going through that. We start with the ones period, then we have the thousands period, then we have the millions period, then we have the billions period. What's after billions? Trillions. Trillions, okay? All right, now we've got ones place and thousands place. Can somebody read this one for me? Who can read this one for me? Besides Ashley and Elizabeth. Hello? Okay. Nope. Thank you. What did he say incorrectly? And. What does and mean? Decimal. I want everybody to take their fist like this and their hand. And when you say the word and, I want you to think of it as a period. I am just as lazy as you are. I put ands in there when I'm reading numbers when I shouldn't. You only put and if you mean period. Okay? So stop yourself from saying and. Okay? But great demonstration. So remember that each period has 3 places within that period. So you go every 3, not every 2 or 4, but every 3, okay? So in the ones place, we have ones, tens, and hundreds. Then we put a comma. Then we also have ones, tens, and hundreds. But it's in the thousands. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 place. So what would the millions look like? Same. Ones, tens, hundreds. Then again, ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, for the billions. Now, before you can learn to write numbers in word form, you must know how to spell these words. Now, let me ask you a question before I throw all these words up here. There are 2 words, actually 3 words, that people misspell in math. And I want you guys to tell me how to spell it before we even see it. These are three words that people misspell all the time. How do I spell the first one up here on top? How do I spell it? There is no U in 40. A whole bunch of you, remember the white test I gave you? Whole bunch of you missed. I think only 2 people spelled 40 right. And we have 25 students in this class. We had 3 people actually spell it right, okay? What about this number? H-U-N-D. R-E-D. Okay, a lot of people forget the R. 100. Okay, and then 90. Spell it for me. No. E. There's an E for 90. Okay, so write them down because I know y'all forgot. Okay. These are the three that are misspelled all the time, okay? Especially 90 and 40. People like to put a U in 40, and they like to take the E out of 90, okay? You guys demonstrated that, so be careful. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put these up. Now, if there's a number that you know you have trouble with, please write it down in your notes. Even if it's 13, 14, 15, okay? Take a look there, and if there's any that you have trouble with, write them down in your packet so you know how to spell them, because spelling does count. Isn't it good we're reviewing this? Okay? I know you guys know how to do it. It's just you've just forgotten some things, okay? And I want to talk to you about the common mistakes that most people make. Can you see it, Leah? You can come sit over here on one of the tables if you want, so you don't have to bend back. Okay? Any questions on these? All right. Write down any that you know you don't spell right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on. Everybody got it? All right. There's 1,000, but most people spell 1,000 right. There's million. Most people spell million and billion and trillion correctly too. Okay? Now, writing numbers in word form. Okay, when you write your numbers in word form, write the numbers as you would read them, from left, right. First, write the first period located before the comma. Second, then write the next period to the comma. Third, finally write the ones period. Do not include the word ones. When you get to the ones period, you just write those numbers. That's all. So who can read the number for me? First of all, let's read it out loud. We got to read it out loud as a strategy. 507. 281,507. Okay, now notice 80 has a dash because we have a 1. We have a comma after 1,000. And we didn't even worry about the tens place because there's nothing there. We just said 507. Any questions on that one? With the 0? No? Okay. Special note. Do not use and. I've said that already, right? But here's the official note. Do not use and unless you mean the decimal point. Your numbers should never have the word and if you are writing a whole number, because whole numbers are to the left of the decimal point. All whole numbers are to the left of the decimal point, so you're not going to write the word and unless you have a decimal. Big mistake. But we say and all the time because we're lazy in our language. So everybody write this number down. Write this number down in words. So what should it be? 3,000 what? Not. 3,000 what? Comma. 3,000, comma, what? 502. So you should write the words 3,000, then a comma. 502. Spelling counts. Write this one down. Now, what do you have to be careful of here? Spelling 90. Okay? We have it up here on the board, the correct way to spell it. Okay? Okay, so read that out loud to me. Okay. We got to get you guys' rhythm going, okay? But yeah, it's right. 94,000, comma 831. And the 94 and the 31 need to have dashes between them. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Not for 3,000. That's not a power. That's not based on 10. It's from 20 to 90 with a digit, with another digit. But if it's just 20, like if it's just 20, you'll just write 20. But if it's 23, you'll write 20-3. Okay? So from 20 to 90. Yes, that's where you put those dashes, okay? Ooh, there's a big one. Try that one. and use the strategy. Read it out loud to yourself and then write it. Read it out loud and then write it. Correct. Don't forget your dashes. Where am I going to have dashes?
60.
No, not 67. 46 and 72. That's correct. 46 and 72 are going to have the dashes. And what number do I have to be careful of spelling? 40. Yeah, 47. Or 46, I'm sorry, 46. Okay? So just like Elizabeth said, 7,046,672. You need to have a comma at the million and a comma at the thousand. You need to have a dash at 46 and a dash at 72. So that's what it should look like. Yes, V? No. What's the value of the 0? Right. You don't have to write it. Okay, try this one. This one has 2 zeros in it. And adults, for some reason, do have troubles with 0. I guess because you guys always want a number there. Okay, who's going to read this one out loud for me? Say it again. Did you say 801 or 801? 1. Just 1. No and. Okay. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, so let's get that up. Shouldn't have any difficulty writing any of these numbers. You do have to watch not putting the zeros there. So she's absolutely correct. 530,000, comma, 801. Don't get stumped by the zeros. This one should be easy after the ones we just did. What should this one be? 4,268. And what do you need to be careful of? The 68. What about the 68? Dash. That's right. 68 has to have a dash. And these are the kind of questions you should ask yourself as you're doing these types of problems. Okay? Write this number. Anything I need to be careful of here? Just the zeros. Just the zeros, okay? So somebody read this one out loud to me. Okay? Go ahead, Thompson. Good. 305,108 is the correct way to write it, say it, and spell it. And you have all those little zeros to be careful of. Now, what does standard form mean? Remember, we just talked about that at the beginning of the lecture. What's standard form? It's the actual numbers with the comma format, right? So, what would I write for this particular number? 305,108. Should look familiar. 305. Nope. What's missing? Comma. 305, comma 108. You need to put a comma where the periods are. So that's one that you guys should already know because we just did it. What about this one? What digits do I write? What characters? 6, 3, comma, 4, no, 490. 6, 3, comma, 490. Okay. Questions on this one? Okay. What about this one? 22, comma, 200. Okay? Standard form. What about this one? 90, comma 408. 90, comma 408. Ooh, what form is this? Expanded form. Good. You guys remember your vocabulary. Okay. Expanded form. What number is it?
6,823.
Isn't expanded form easy? Because it shows you the value. You just put the value down. 6,823. Now remember, expanded form, you write down the value of each digit as a sum. And a sum means that you're adding the numbers. You're adding the values. So you want to remember this form. Expanded form is the beginning of powers and writing in a scientific notation. So I want you to understand the basics of expanded form, and then we will build upon that when we do scientific notation. Okay? But this is the very beginning of it. So how would I write this number in expanded form? 4,000 plus 300 plus 60 plus 7. Good job, you guys. You guys like expanded form, I can tell. Because it's easy. What about this one? Not 5,000.
56.
Nope.
No, 5.
50,000. So for each digit, write its value. 50,000 plus 6,000 plus 800 plus 3. Do I have to do the 0? No, but I could if I wanted to, right? If you want to, you can. I don't. I just take it out. Okay? What about this one? 900,000 plus 70,000 plus 3,000 plus 100 plus 4. I'm getting lots of participation in this one, okay? You guys just don't like to read your numbers. All right, expanded form. What am I going to start with here? 7 million plus 20,000 plus 1,000 plus 500. Okay? Easy as pie. All right, so I want you to pull out your packets and go, where was the first page that we're supposed to go to start working on this? Go to page 4. Give me a minute. Okay, you guys, go to page 4 real quick. And at your table, I'd like you and your table mates. You guys might have already done this, but you and your table mates look at questions 1 through 3. Write down your answers and compare. Write down your answers and compare, okay? You and your table mates. All right, a bunch of you have questions about the little chart. And this is what I would do. Okay, listen up. I know you guys are talking. I'm sorry to interrupt real quick. Problem 4. What is the digit in this number? When I think of face value, I'm thinking digit here. So just write the digit, which is 8 here, right? What's the value place? 1,000. So I'm just going to write the number 1,000 because I'm lazy. And what number is totally represented? Okay, so that's how I would fill these out, okay? So I would just say 3. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but I would just do it like this. This is in the hundreds place, and then that would give me 300. That way you know how the value is generated. Okay? Does that help for those of you that are moving ahead? Okay? Did everybody get a chance to do problem 1, 2, and 3 with their table mate? Not yet? Okay, go ahead and work on that. Okay, now on problem 1, I got 978 and a dash between the 70 and the 8. And then on number B, I got 226, a dash between the 20 and the 6. And then 305. Is that what you guys got? Okay. Now these are the answers I got for 2. Let's compare them with what you have. Did you get 200928? And then an 8,165? And then 9,603. Okay? And then with our beautiful expanded notation, which you guys really love, 600 plus 20 plus 4, 100 plus 40, or, yep, that's all we need to do. 8,000 plus 700 plus 50 plus 2. Any questions on problem 1, 2, 3, or 4, since we did 4 as well? So 5 should have been easy. What did you guys get for 5? Oh, I'm sorry, 4B. What did you get for the place value under the 7? 1,000. Mm-hmm.
Place value is, but face value is 7, place value is 1,000.
Yep. I just did it in a row. 1,000, 100, 10, and 1. And this will give me 7,000, 0, 0, and 5. So that's what you should have gotten on the bottom. The next page is very similar. I'm going to have you guys go ahead and work on the next page 5 and page 6, which are very, very similar to what we've done. Page 7 is very similar to what we've done. Page 8 is similar to what we've done. Hey, I want everybody to go back to page 9. Go to page 9. What are we doing on page 9? In this packet. You're actually applying reading and writing your numbers to, what is this figure here? Well, you're not paying a bill, but what is this? It's a pay stub. It's something that you should see if you ever have a job. You need to kind of look and see what they're paying you. And make sure that it's right. Calculate it and make sure it's right. What's the first question there? How would I know what she made for the week? And it says take-home pay. Yeah, it'll be what the check is going to have on it. And what does net pay mean? After your deductions. You have gross pay, which is right here, based on your rate and your hours. But then you have a total deduction of this. That means you have to subtract it to get that net pay. So what would the amount be? So we should circle B, right? You and your table mates finish the rest of those questions real quick. Do problems 2, 3, and 4. You guys work together and get the rest of that pay stub done. Do 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, you can write the word dollars. Because it should be dollars, right? So let's write it. 5 what?
556.
How do I write the 56? Dash 6. And then how do I spell dollars? Yep. So $556 because we have a dollar sign right here. What did you guys get for number 3? No. What does the question say? Read the question carefully. And what digit should I write there? No. In the tens place. No, somebody keeps saying 9. That's not right. What should it? 1. 1's in the tens place. Okay? This is in the 9. The 9 is in the tenths place. This is in the tens place. Excuse me. All right, now tell me what the answer to number 4 is. Write the amount of Brandy's total deductions in expanded form. Deductions. Be careful in your reading. So, Annette, you said D? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so you have to read carefully when you're reading word problems, okay? All right, you and your table mates go ahead and finish this packet, and then I want everybody to the computers working on your pre-test and your post-test, okay? Now, let's talk about the computer sign-on. What classroom are you in?